It's Way Up, and Mano is here. And we're talking about how our parents' relationship affected ours. What about you? Oh, wait, and this came from Love is Blind, by the way. This is after Clay decided he did not want to marry AD at the altar. And then Clay's parents were having a conversation, and here's what they said.
He struggles with a marriage, and a lot of that stems from things that you have to explain and then apologize. We came from broken families. That doesn't mean that we have to pass on that brokenness to our kids.
Absolutely.
He wants to be in a long-term relationship.
Time to meet somebody like you.
You met me, but you wasn't good to me.
All right. Now, I want to know, Mano, how has your parents' relationship affected how you are with women?
It's pretty young. I feel like it was pretty toxic, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think my parents' relationship was kind of toxic. Father was very aggressive at times. And I could see some of that in myself.
Okay. You're toxic.
I'm not saying that I'm toxic. I'm saying I can see some of those same traits.
And so does that mean that you try to fight against it, or?
I mean, you identify it first,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the first thing. And then once you identify it, then you can figure out ways to work through it and to be better.
I think with my parents, my dad, he's a yeller. So he would yell at my mom a lot. And so if anybody yells at me, I can't be in a relationship with somebody that gets aggressive or yells at me at all. It's like a red flag for me.
Right.
And I'm very clear on that,
So you
though.
like triggered, like boom.
Yeah,
So
I'm not doing that.
Like, oh.
My mom said the first time she heard my dad yell was at their wedding. And she was like,
really?
Yeah. And then it never stopped.
Kind of too late now. We're getting married now.
Whoops. All right. Well, it's not too late. If you're Clay, you'd be at the altar and say no. Now, look, guys. I know some people are going to say, I didn't see it yet. But guess what? If you look online, I already knew something was going to happen just from looking at social media. Right now, I see Wale's post is going viral. He said, Clay of Love is Blind, I seen that coming a mile away. That show was Airbnb promo. That's diabolical behavior to do that girl like that. And so, Love is Blind, you haven't seen it yet at
Do
all.
I have to, in order to watch it, do I got to go all the way back to the first season?
No, you can start. This is season 6. You can start with season 6. It's
Really?
always new couples being focused on. And I feel like it always starts off kind of slow because people are like just getting to know each other. So one of the most annoying couples on the show was Chelsea and Jimmy. Chelsea was like, they didn't even make it to the aisle. Jimmy basically told her, I can't be with you. And she would take no accountability for the things that she did wrong in the relationship. He was like, I love you to death. I want a relationship with you and I want it to work, but I don't want to go to the altar. And he said there's been a lot of big issues that they've had. And I think you don't get married to try to solve these issues. You solve these issues and then get married. You know, you don't try to figure it out later.
Right.
But I feel like one couple everybody was rooting for was Clay and AD. The two of them from the beginning, you know, great chemistry that they've had. They're a black couple. Seem like they really liked each other. They look good together. Their families seem pretty amazing. But Clay had been saying from the beginning that he was hesitant to get married because of his own outlook on his father's infidelity. His father had been unfaithful to his mother, and that played a role. And when he got to the altar, he did not tell her, and I can respect Jimmy for telling Chelsea before they got to the altar, I don't want to do this. He waited until AD said, I do, to say this to her at the altar.
Amber, do you take Clay?
I do.
Clay.
AD, I love you. I don't think it's responsible for me to say I do, but I want you to know that I'm rocking with you. I just don't think it's responsible for me to say I do at this point when I still need work. I still need to get to the point where I'm 100% in, and I'm not gonna have you over here thinking that this is not gonna work. I'm gonna put the work in for you, and we'll go through this together.
No.
You waited till it was.
You waited till she said I do, knowing that you wasn't going to do this.
Wow.
All right. Now, another thing I want to talk about, since we discussed how he always had been saying he was reluctant, is his parents then, after this happened, had a conversation with each other, and people love the way that Clay's mother kind of summed up the situation. Here's what happened.
He struggles with a marriage, and a lot of that stems from things that you have to explain and then apologize.
I didn't necessarily have the best role models in my life.
I know we came from broken families. That doesn't mean that we have to pass on that brokenness to our kids.
Absolutely.
He wants to be in a long-term relationship. He wants that.
Tell me somebody like you.
You met me, but you wasn't good to me.
Ooh, drop the mic. All right, but here's the question today. How do your parents' relationships affect how you are in a relationship? Because that's really what this is about. How do your parents' relationship affect the way that you treat your significant other? 800-292-5150. This is an introspective topic. How do you think that you are in relationships? And that is related to how your parents were with each other. 800-292-5150. Call us up. Let's talk about it.